All right, so we are beginning our 4-day hike around Mount Hood on the Timberline Trail. You can see Mount Hood in the background. Here's the sign for the Pacific Crest Trail, which is sort of combined with the Timberline Trail for the first day and a half. Michael?
I don't have anything to say. Pretty
Okay.
cool place. It's like really hot here, but yet there's people skiing. It's like an alternate world. It's pretty cool. And I'm excited to disconnect from the world for 4 days.
Okay, here we go. So we are hiking along the Timberline Trail / PCT. So far it's been a nice hike. Here's Mount Hood up here. Some nice wildflowers here. So we just crossed this stream here. This is in what's, I believe, known as Zigzag Canyon. Not too bad of a stream crossing. So, a lot of people here. So after a pretty long uphill hike climb from the last creek crossing, we're now in an area called Paradise Park. This is a sort of loop trail so we're kind of taking a little bit of a detour from the Timberline Trail. This Paradise Loop Trail reconnects with the Timberline Trail farther north. But it's about the same distance, but it's supposed to be a really nice area. Tremendous amount of snow here when I was here 5 years ago, much less this time. See Mount Hood up ahead of us.
So we are here at Paradise Park, and we think possibly that might be Mount Rainier off in the distance. It's really cool because you have these rolling hills here, go this way, but then it's like rolling mountains, but then like these jagged, huge mountains like in the background. That we think is, you said, is Mount Jefferson, probably soon to be renamed. And then over here, pretty neat place. A little bit hot.
So we're back on the PCT after our Paradise Park loop. We came to this overlook spot here, pretty cool. Big steep drop here, nice waterfall, Mount Hood. Seems very dusty here, even there. Michael. All right, so this is the Sandy River, which we just crossed. We crossed up here on that log up there. So it worked out okay for us. Up here, Mount Hood and Sandy River. So we have arrived at our camping spot for tonight. This place is known as Ramona Falls. So this is a really cool waterfall, probably hard to capture on film, but sort of water coming out the top and down all these little rock ledges. It's also, the temperature is about 20 degrees cooler next to this waterfall.
There's also like not many bugs here.
I think there are.
Right here?
Yeah.
I've been standing here, they're not that bad.
Okay. Okay, so it's morning of the second day. We're just leaving our campsite at Ramona Falls, which is right up here. So today, this morning, we're on the Timberline Trail, but we have to take this Ramona Falls Trail back to the PCT to avoid a section of the Timberline Trail that is apparently impassable due to a storm from a couple of years ago. So it doesn't, no real change in distance, just a little detour. And here are the falls in the morning. All right, haven't taken a video in a while.
I see a video up here.
I'm narrating, hush. So after we started with about 1.5 mile hike on a gradual downhill, then we kind of turned onto the PCT and started what has been a long climb. We eventually reconnected with the Timberline Trail, which we're on now. But we've been climbing for a long time. Haven't really had a view of Mount Hood yet today. So it's a few minutes past the last video and the trail has opened up a little bit. Got a good view of the mountain. Okay, we had another little rough stream crossing here, but we made it safely. Michael. Yep. Alright, so we just started crossing that stream, hiked a little bit, and we came to this area of forest fire. There's not a lot of shade here.
But yet, two guys passed us carrying skis. Not sure exactly what they were doing.
Well, I'm sure they were going to find someplace to ski down. All right. All right, here we just did another river crossing here. This one's a little bit challenging, but again, we've made it safely across. Off in the distance, looks like Mount St. Helens, but it might be really difficult to see.
Really cool in person, though.
So this is a pretty cool spot that we got to. Nice all-around view up here. Mount Hood, a lot of burned trees. There's a lake, big lake off in the distance, and really hazy, but also Mount St. Helens, and lots of wildflowers in this section. All right, so we are at our campsite at Elk Cove along the stream here. Up this way, we have a view of Mount Adams. It's a pretty difficult hike today. It's very hot. It's so hot here. A lot of bugs. A bunch of stream crossings today. But here we are. All right, so we're at our campsite at Elk Cove. It's around 6:30-ish, and the sun has gone down over this ridge, and the temperature cooled down drastically.
Thank God.
We made a fire, which seems odd since it was 100 degrees out here before, but it seems to have helped with smoking the bugs out. For cooking dinner, I have spicy sausage bolognese, rehydrating. Michael?
Creamy broccoli cheddar rice.
Very nice. All right. All right, so it's morning of day 3, and we're just leaving our campsite. Sun is already starting to come up. Still already pretty warm. Just look over towards Mount Hood. I'm gonna be here. All right, so we're at the Cove branch, which looks like it might be the tough, or supposedly is the toughest river crossing. So we walked up and down looking for the best spot to cross. So this looks like it's going to be it. Teams are probably at their peak flow because it's so hot. It's probably in the mid 80s and it's already, or it's 8 o'clock only. So here we go. Okay, so it was another successful river crossing. Definitely one of the toughest. All right, so we are at our second major river crossing of the day. I don't know how many for the trip, can't count. So we already crossed, probably not long ago, there's probably a snow bridge over here. This one doesn't look like it has much time left. Back here, Mount St. Helens and Mount Adams. All right, stream crossing. I'm not sure what number. It's gonna get deeper. All right, woo! All right, so we are taking a little break after another long, steady climb. Wow, I just see a shelter over there. We just came from this cloud cap trailhead, which you might be able to see at the bottom of the picture here, the building and some campsites there. This is a really open view. You can see hazy Mount St. Helens to the left. We think Mount Rainier in the middle and Mount Adams on the right, although we could be wrong about that. And then right around here is Mount Hood. And it looks like we still got some uphill climbing to do. I didn't say that it was 90 degrees out. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's really hot. So we just started our sort of descent to Gnarl Ridge and Newton Creek, and we came to this spot that's pretty cool. 360-degree views here. So we just passed the junction with the Gnarl Ridge Trail. So that means that we have probably a little bit less than a mile to go to Newton Creek, where we'll be camping tonight. Unfortunately, after spending, most of the day in areas with no bugs, all of a sudden now we got a lot of flies again. So that's unfortunate. All right, we're at our campsite at Newton Creek. Dinner is preparing. Up here is Mount Hood. Down in here is a fast-moving Newton Creek. We tried to bathe ourselves and clothes. The water's very salty, so even our drinking water and cooking water we're filtering through a shirt or bandana. But another hot day, still hot at whatever time it is now, around 6 o'clock. But not too many bugs here, so that's good. So here is a more close-up view of the Newton Creek. So we'll be crossing this tomorrow morning. Michael's having beef jerky and Fireball. And wine. So it is morning, day 4. Just left our campsite. It's on the other side of this river. We crossed the river. Now we're just filling up some water, changing our shoes. And the next challenge will be to figure out where the trail picks up on this side. Kind of like areas like this. Every year the trail changes a little bit because of how the topography changes. You can see the stream bank is eroded a lot, so I see where a trail is, but there's no way to get to it right from the river, so we'll have to figure that out. All right, so a little while ago we passed the Newton Creek Trail junction. So came to this open spot. We got a good view of the mountain and a nice waterfall. Pretty cool area. So this part of the trail we have been crossing over ski slopes for a ski resort, which we think is different than the Timberline ski resort. It seems like there's a separate ski resort to the east. There's a lift down there. So we're at just another stream crossing. This one has multiple branches, so we just crossed over one. Here comes Michael. We're gonna have to get across this one in between he's getting down this sort of steep ravine and up that one. So I'm gonna be looking for a spot to cross. According to this sign, we are now back on the PCT, headed for the Timberline Lodge, which is about 1.5 miles or 2 miles from here. So we're hiking up to the Timberline Lodge now. This spot here is kind of cool. You can really see how water can shape the landscapes. You have like water that has made 2 large ravines, but they sort of come together down here, which is where we crossed. Might be able to see one of the ski lifts for Timberline up on the mountain too.